Hello, I'm Dr. Anthony Pellegrino from Absolute Chiropractic and the Absolutely Healthy Kids podcast, and I'm here with Beth Salerno, from Postpartum Doula with NJ-Doula, with Doula-Care.com, who is also a breastfeeding counselor. She specializes in helping moms relax, recover, and enjoy their baby postpartum. How are you today, Beth?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited to be on here with you. I just want to go ahead and just start by asking a quick question. Just go ahead and fill in a couple gaps from that introduction and just kind of lead us through a little bit of a day in the life of you.
As far as when I'm working with clients?
Yeah, just your daily life in terms of just being like crunchy mom that you are, working with clients, everything that you do.
Okay. Well, when I'm not working with clients, I'm homeschooling my 3 kids. When I'm working with clients, I love working with new moms, first-time moms coming in because it's so scary. Like a lot of people who have hospital births come home and then all of a sudden are terrified of what to do next with their baby because they've had this support and then all of a sudden they're on their own. It's such a tricky time too because for the baby learning how to breathe and eat and swallow and all of those things going on, as well as for the new mom who is in recovery. So I love being able to come in and help reassure them and help them find their stride.
That's awesome. So, I mean, obviously that's such a life-changing time period, for baby, because, their cells are dividing at the most rapid they're going through their entire life, especially for mom, especially, as a first-time mom. What would you do to really encourage, help a first-time mom through the process? What kind of information would you want? What do you think, is the most important things for you to help her with?
The most important thing is that culturally, we lack a basic understanding about postpartum needs. So a lot of people are being discharged from the hospital and not having a clear understanding about the physical limitations. For example, you shouldn't be going up and down the steps multiple times, even if you have a vaginal birth. It's just, there's so many energy demands on your body, especially in the first week, as far as recovering from childbirth, adapting to breastfeeding, and taking care of a newborn. So you're not able to sleep and recharge. So just recognizing that there is a very specific, important window of recovery that if you don't take advantage of, you're setting yourself up for a risk of complications.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's hugely important. That 4th trimester is just as important as the other 3, right?
It really is. It really is, especially because that sets the foundation for your baby's beginning.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. One thing that I love about you, Beth, is in the conversations that we've had previously is your message is all about, empowering moms, helping out mom, because it seems as though a lot, we treat birth as this medical procedure, right? As this issue, I was just listening to a BirthFit podcast the other day, and one of the things that they discussed a lot on there is that everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, you're pregnant! Oh, it was so difficult. It was so hard." And then mom goes through this whole transformative experience, and then after birth, everything's focused on baby, which is great. Baby's amazing. We love baby, but we kind of forget about mom. So obviously, you've had quite a journey to get to this point, to have such a targeted mission. Why don't you go ahead and just take us to that real pivotal moment that set you on the trajectory to be, the rock star doula and breastfeeding counselor that you are today?
I always knew I wanted to be a mother. Just as long as I can remember, I remember knowing that I wanted to be a mom. And I was with my husband for 7 years before we had our first child. And I just remember this moment of deep sadness and sorrow because I finally had my baby. I was finally a mom, but I was so exhausted and overwhelmed that I couldn't really enjoy it or be present in the way that I wanted. And it took me a long time, like several months, to really get to a place where I had enough rest, where I felt like somewhat myself and was really able to embrace it and be present. And I kind of had to grieve that I thought this window was going to be amazing because my baby was here and I was so happy, but I was so exhausted and isolated that I really couldn't enjoy it the way I had always imagined I would.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that we just see in so many moms. It's just this huge process and so many changes and everything like that, and it's afterwards you're just so exhausted. So we like to shift and say focus on, we definitely want to take care of baby. Obviously, that's hugely important because, the entire life is dependent on health now. And if we don't have our health now, or we don't have our health, what do we have? Healthy kids grow up to be healthy adults. But in that process, mom is the care, mom and dad both take care of baby. So their health is equally as important, if not, even more important, because how can they raise a child if they can't bring 100% each and every day?
Absolutely. And I mean, that's part of what frustrates me so much is that our culture wants, baby showers and baby this and baby that. And it's like, if you really, really care about babies, then you'll make sure that mom and dad are okay, because that baby's survival depends on their mom and dad.
Yeah. Well, mama and daddy shower. I'm okay with that. We can do that. I think we should start at that. Let's start a nice trend about that. Mama and daddy shower. I think that's a really awesome thing.
Absolutely.
So what would you say right now? Obviously, a lot of the people listening, a lot of people on our Facebook page, and a lot of people you talk to on a daily basis have so much information, good and bad, right? We're so inundated with information on a daily basis. It's so hard to tell, not only fact from fiction, but, I think facts and truth is really largely dependent on what perspective you're looking at it from. So, it's very hard to tell what we should listen to, what we shouldn't, what's going to be wrong, what's going to be retracted 7 days from now. What do you think? Yeah. Like coconut oil. I mean, who would have thought 2 weeks ago, I would have said, eat coconut oil all the time, but who would have thought? American Heart Association, coconut oil is terrible, right? We don't have to get too far into that rabbit hole. So what would you say right now is the most important thing mom, dad, parents, caregivers should know and should pay attention to regarding raising a healthy family?
For moms and dads especially, I think it's got to be your gut, because I've been in situations and helped clients before, and they go to one pediatrician and they're told, this is the fact, this is whatever. And inside, if you don't feel like it's right, just go to a different provider, like that you have that ability to tune into your gut. And I think that we tend to second guess and doubt a lot, especially as new parents with all the fear mongering and the information overload. But if you really just tune in to what instinctively feels right and your intuition, then I think that's really your best bet as a parent.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going. I was like, oh, gut, that's a good one. Definitely the digestive organs are hugely important.
True.
Definitely, yeah. But 100%. I mean, I think so many parents are told, especially when it comes to birth, postpartum, that it's almost like things are presented as this is your only option. Right. We forget that every healthcare decision that we make is that. It's a choice. It's a decision. Right.
Absolutely.
So if you want to have a VBAC, right, and your doctor says you can't have a VBAC, well, I promise you there's somebody out there who is going to not only say, yes, we can do this, but they're going to point you in the right direction of the things that you need to do in order to have the healthiest, happiest birth of your choosing. Right.
Absolutely.
After, in terms of raising kids, you want to do this, you want to do that. Should I do a probiotic? Should I do this? It's all a choice. So just do your homework and know that when it comes down to it, right, if we don't have choice in this world, then I mean, that's what America is based on when I talk about America, right? Like that's what we have. It's freedom of choice. And that's absolutely amazing. What resources do you look at to, like, I mean, obviously you're so well educated in this area, you're such a specialist, you really know what you're doing. What sorts of resources do you like to point parents to in terms of finding more maybe quality information to load it so they can go with their gut?
For breastfeeding, I love La Leche League, in-person local meetings, but also they have online resources. KellyMom.com is excellent, like database to search if you want to know if you can take certain herbs while you're breastfeeding, pumping advice, all kinds of information there. In terms of parenting, I love Dr. Sears, and he has a website as well, but also a great baby book that I just feel like all parents should have, because it's like this thick and it's got everything from newborn to age 2. If your baby starts coughing, you can just like flip into that and look up like at-home practical advice that you can start with, as well as when you need to go to the doctor. So those are probably all good starting points.
That's awesome. I can't wait to go back and write all of that down, because there's definitely some things in there. I didn't even know that Dr. Sears had such a large baby book, and I cannot wait to read it. So that's awesome. Beth, just go ahead and let me know. Just let everybody know in terms of the legacy that you want to leave. I mean, you love Monmouth County. You're in around the area in the Jersey Shore. The legacy and what you want to be remembered for in our community. Let us get a little bit of insight into that.
I would just love to see postpartum become mother-centered because really, like I said, if we care about babies, we have to take care of those moms. And it's starting to shift, and I feel like we're headed in the right direction. But I would love to see moms not having to, at a moment of being vulnerable, have to start scrambling to try and get the help that they need. I feel like it should just be a given that, yeah, after you have birth, you should have help and you get to choose what kind of help. But I just want to see that cultural shift take place.
That's awesome. I love shift. That makes me so happy. What a good word. It's all about shift. And I think that we're really in the midst of something right now, very, very transformative, much like birth, very, very transformative. And our views on health are certainly changing, and I absolutely love that. All right, well, Beth, why don't you go ahead and just give us a parting piece of guidance or words of encouragement, as well as how we can, somebody who wants to connect with you, how they can best connect with you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. I think first and foremost, when you have your baby, just remember that how it is in week 1 and week 2 is not how it's going to be forever, that it can be really intense, but it's going to get better. And that if you are having trouble, you shouldn't hesitate to reach out because we really are fortunate to have so many resources locally. There's a support group run through Jersey Shore Hospital. There's a lot of resources listed on my website at www.doula-care.com. If you click on resources, there's a full list of things from yoga during postpartum all the way through mothering support. And if you're having any sort of perinatal adjustment disorders or mood issues, then there's resources there as well. But yeah, I just want to see every mom be able to feel supported and empowered to do her best.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. I love the focus on mom postpartum. That 4th trimester for us is just such a crucial time when all that relaxin is kind of clearing out. We have such a good window of opportunity to not only get mom functioning better, but get us to even get so much correction and change with chiropractic from, even before birth took place or before pregnancy took place, just because it's such a prime time, such a transformative time. And we love being able to partner with families on that journey. And I want to thank you so much for joining me here. Beth, it was such a pleasure having you here, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.